Hi, this is Mighty Dillabelle coming from Citizens Choice News Network. Today, we're having a very special episode covering Homeowners Defense Act of 2011 sponsored by Representative Frederica Wilson. Please stay tuned. Before we get into the interview sponsored by Representative A. Jean Rose Mayer, we will first take a look at the bill itself. Homeowners Defense Act of 2011 has 5 parts that make it up. To establish the National Catastrophe Risk Consortium as a nonprofit, non-federal entity to, number 1, maintain an inventory of catastrophe risk obligations held by state reinsurance funds, state residual insurance market entities, and state-sponsored providers of natural catastrophe insurance. Number 2, to issue securities and other financial instruments linked to catastrophe risk insured or reinsured through consortium members. Number 3, coordinate reinsurance contracts. Number 4, to act as a centralized repository of state risk information accessible by certain private participants. And number 5, to establish a database to perform research and analysis that encourages standardization of the risk-linked securities market. Worried that fraud may occur, I asked Mr. Jean Rose May that if this Homeowners Defense Act of 2011 is passed, do you think it would create incentives for people to build poorly constructed homes in fragile environments, especially to coastal states like Florida, which is threatened to have a hurricane every year? And he answered me that homeowners especially have invested in building and maintaining their homes with the high standards. The bill would encourage homeowners to further invest given the additional assurance that this bill will provide. Insurance companies will do research on facilities that they insure, so this type of problem won't become a hindrance to the companies. I then asked, how will this bill affect the liability of the federal government, which should have to provide subsidies for this non-federal entity when the debt ceiling of USA has just been recently raised. He then answered me that the Congressional Budget Office has not provided cost estimates for the bill. However, the bill would actually save the federal government money in the long run by minimizing the cost of the federal government in the event of a catastrophe. If so, will this bill threaten to raise taxpayer dollars if a hurricane season comparable to 2005 or natural disasters occur? He said no. Big hurricanes like Katrina doesn't happen on a regular basis, but cost greatly when they do. This bill will encourage homeowners to buy better homes. It will also encourage insurance companies to cooperate better with homeowners. Basically, this bill will help insurance companies insure themselves. When insurance companies can't pay the damage that occurred to homeowners' home, this bill will already be in place to help government aid the companies. So won't insurance corporations be greatly affected by the Homeowners Defense Act? He said that the act would supplement the effects of insurance agencies and would actually benefit them in the long run. According to the Thomas Library of Congress, this bill was introduced on July 19th and referred to House Committee on Financial Services for 5 months. And according to it, it had no sponsors. Do you think, I asked him, that there is a possibility that this bill will be pigeonholed or it just hasn't been fully addressed to the committee as of yet? He then told me that the time it takes for a bill to go through the legislative process varies tremendously. The majority party, currently Republicans, decides which bills to advance. We're continuing to push for this bill as hard as possible. Good luck, sir. Before we end today's special episode, we stood and asked the essential question. Whose views should members of Congress represent when voting? When I asked Mr. Jean Rose May this question, he responded, primarily those of the constituents. There you have it, citizens. Representative Frederica Wilson is a delegate of Florida District 17. See you later in the next episode of Citizens Choice.